Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So let's quickly continue with our one-line current affairs series for the date 19 October. So I have referred to the Hindu and other such news articles. So first news is about NIA, National Investigation Agency. Headquarters is at Delhi and it was formed by the Act of NIA Act 2008 on the backdrop of the Mumbai attacks of 2008. So I'll not explain in detail whatever things are important or which we might forget. So only those points I have highlighted, and as and when in the next newspapers or in the coming days, we can keep on adding the other points as well, so that it doesn't become a heavy bulk video. So why NIVO was in news? It was in news because of the recent attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, terror outfits where the terrorists attacked the migrant workers, and now these migrant workers are planning to leave that place. So that is why NIA is in news. It looks into all the terrorist related offenses in the country. So other than that, what other things NIA looks into? It looks into human trafficking related issues. It was included in the 2019 NIA amendment. So now it looks into human trafficking offenses related to counterfeit banknotes, duplicate currency notes, manufacture or sale of prohibited arms, cyber terrorism, offenses under the Explosive Substance Act 1908. So, other the manpower, financial, and infrastructure requirements of NIA, that is catered by Ministry of Home Affairs. It also prosecutes the people who have been found accused in UAPA 1967. So here we also found that even a person, individual person, can also be blamed as a terrorist. After investigation, the cases will be placed before a special NIA court. The officers are also they also have the power to investigate the cases outside India and subject to international treaties, domestic laws of other countries. Then CBI was also in news. So a few points to just note. CBI can take suo motu investigations of offences only in union territories, not in states. But the central government can authorize CBI to investigate a crime in state, but only with the consent of the state government. In UT, suo motu it can take. In states, with the consent of the state, if the central government asks for. The Supreme Court and High Courts, however, can order CBI to investigate crime anywhere in the country without the consent of the state. So, if it is Supreme Court or High Courts, the consent of the state is not required. The director of CBI, he has a security tenure of 2 years, and this is granted under CVC Act of 2003, the Central Vigilance Commission Act. Okay, so recently, uh, Supreme Court has called CBI as a caged parrot speaking in its master voice. So you can just make a note of it and write it in your mains answers. So it will be good. So next, Poonch Kulgram. So this same place, Jammu Kashmir region, where people were killed. So it's in news. So this region, we can quickly see what comes in and around these two places. So Poonch is somewhere here, here, and Kulgram is here. So from here we can get to know. So this is our border with Pakistan, and here we can see we have this Kishtwal National Park of Jammu Kashmir and Dachingam National Park, and other places are Mount Kulhoy, and there is some Sunset Peak. So we can just, because Poonch and these places will be more often in news, so it's better we understand what lies next to these areas. So Dachingan National Park north of it, and even the Kishtwal National Park to the right to it, or to the east. Okay. Next, Pampa Manimala and Achinacoil rivers in Kerala. So we know that till now 35 people have already been killed because of the heavy rains, torrential rains happening in Kerala. So this, where is this river? These three rivers were in news. So Pampa Manimala river is here, and we can see even this flood alert area here. So where does to the east of it we have this Periyar National Park, and then Agastya Malai. So this complete the Nilgiri belt, whatever we have in the Kerala, it's very important for the exam. So whenever this places comes in news, it's important that we do this marking. So Pampa, Manimala, Achinikoil rivers. So we can just make a note that these parks just fall to the right of this. Okay, and this is very close to your Arabian Sea and other such rivers. So also this particular complete mapping I'll do as part of another video, or else it will take too much of time. So these three rivers, let's quickly mark. Achina Coil, and then we had this Pampa and Manimala, right? So 7, 9 and 10. So 7, 9 and 10. This complete area is being flooded currently. Okay. So you can just make a note of it. And this is the complete Kerala, and here this region, the southern region. So this is the flooded area, and we have other rivers as well in Kerala. So I'll do a separate video for this. Next, since we are dealing with water, water is a state subject, and since we are talking about subjects, we know that Article 246 deals with what kind of rules can be made by center or states. Basically, your seventh schedule. So you have three lists, right? Central, state, and concurrent list. It's very important you read this complete uh, Article 246, because it's having something called as notwithstanding. Whenever this word notwithstanding comes, right? Notwithstanding means even though if there is any law, that will be overridden. So this holds superior to any other law which exists. So notwithstanding, which comes in any article, it means that anything to the contrary is legal language that declares that a clause supersedes anything forthcoming that might contradict it. So it is saying, say for example, we'll read this 246, subject matter of laws made by parliament and by the state legislature. Notwithstanding anything in clause 2 and 3, that is this 2 and 3, has exclusive power to make laws with respect to any of the matters enumerated in list 1, that is the central list, in the 7th schedule. Okay, so notwithstanding anything in clause 3, the parliament, and subject to clause 1, the legislature of a state also has the power to make laws with respect to the matters enumerated in list 3 in 7th schedule. List 3 is your concurrent. So state can make a list, state can make rules for items mentioned in list 3, but again it is subjected to clause 1. Clause 1, what does it say? Irrespective of what is there in 2 and 3, this has a superior stand. So even your central government can make laws or rules on your list 2 as well as list 3 in extraordinary conditions. Then parliament has the power to make laws with respect to any matter for any part of the territory of India, not included, notwithstanding that such matter is a matter enumerated in stateless. So, for example, if there is no item which is mentioned either in your concurrent state or central list, if there is anything which is left out, even there the parliament has this right to form rules there. And also, we need to see that parliament has an exclusive power to form rules or laws on any of the lists mentioned, whereas the state doesn't have that exclusive power. Okay, so that is important to know. Then Bomdila monastery is in news, so because recently the government is planning to train our Indian army officers based on Tibetology culture. They are giving training about the culture of Tibet and all. So Bomdila monastery was news because of that. So it is there in Arunachal Pradesh. We can also remember by recall by that pass which we have near Arunachal Pradesh, this Bomdila pass. So that way we can remember. So since Buddhism and Jainism are important parts, so anything which comes in and around Buddhism, it's very important. Then is the Press Trust of India. This is because the farmers are protesting. So here we can see the farmers protest hit the coal train movement. So it's in the same line. So they are doing this rail loco agitation, and just to know make just to make a note, Indian Railways total 18 zones we are having currently, and it's the largest news agency. It's not a statutory or a constitutional body. It's just a news agency. It's a non-profit cooperative. Okay, so it was registered in 1947 and started functions from 1949. Just to confuse, they can give you with other options where PTI is a statutory or any executive body. So it's just to know that it's a non-profit cooperative. It's a body and largest news agency with the headquarters in Delhi. Next, vector-borne diseases. Already we have seen one death in Delhi because of this dengue. It's caused by your mosquito. What are vector-borne diseases? Vector-borne diseases are like diseases carried on by the parasites or your insects and all that. So vector-borne diseases are human illness caused by parasites, virus, bacteria, and are transmitted by vector. Vector is basically a vehicle kind of a thing. It's carrying the virus in that. So what are the factors responsible for the distribution of this vector-borne diseases? So global travel, trade, unplanned urbanization. So these statements are important. So we see that how UPSC these days is giving questions like what are the especially in environment and science. So multiple options you'll be having, and out of that you need to select one, two, three. So these words, just be aware. Global trade and travel. So we know that so many Zika virus, H1N1 we have received from this South Africa. Unplanned urbanization. So it doesn't seem to the this is some different word. Environmental challenges, it's known. Challenges in agricultural practices due to variation in temperature and rainfall. Growth of slums, yeah, that we can eliminate. And yeah, there are few diseases which are caused by these vectors, and so these are important to note, because since we are dealing with the COVID era, so these kind of questions can come up. So I'll do a separate video for this, but for now, dengue, it's caused by a mosquito viral disease, just like yesterday also I told, dengue virus, it is caused by dengue virus. And the mosquito which causes it is Aedes mosquitoes. Okay, so there are multiple three types of mosquitoes which I just went on to read, because there are more number of mosquito deaths, and it's important to know what kind of mosquito is what. So we have Aedes, Anopheles mosquitoes, and Culex mosquito. So your dengue is caused by Aedes, not Anopheles. Anopheles causes your malaria, and your Culex causes your West Nile and Japanese encephalitis. So here I just show you the differences also. I'll make a separate video. Just I thought you guys can see a picture. Here your this is your Aedes. Aedes, it has these white bands and everything. And your Anopheles mosquito, this is your Anopheles, and this is the Culex. I think this is the ones which we usually see in and around our houses in the evenings. So the differences are mentioned here. So this causes your chikungunya and your Zika and dengue. This causes your malaria. This we saw, and their eggs they have given spindle shaped, boat shaped, cigar shaped. It's then It stays more or less parallel to the surface. Mosquitoes have 45-degree angle. Culex stays parallel to the surface. Okay. Larvae floats obliquely to the surface of the water, floats horizontally and have 8 segments, floats obliquely to the surface and has 8 segments. This is not that important. This we saw. And air float, do not have an air float, has an air float, and do not have an air float. Okay. Not so important. Laying eggs. Yeah. It lays its eggs in fresh water. This is also fresh water, and polluted water is your Culex. Okay. So basically, in both polluted and fresh water, mosquito lays eggs. Aggressive day biter. These are important points. Aedes is aggressive day biter. This is active during night or your dawn and dusk evening time, and this is also active during dawn and dusk. That is your Culex. So your pupa is colorless, and this your malaria causing Anopheles one is green in color. Have black and white bands, just like I showed you the image. No black and white bands, no black and white bands. Sound, again, sound, it's important. Makes less sound, makes a peculiar sound, and makes no sound. Next time you hear something, so you can just make a note that it's Anopheles mosquito, and it can cause malaria, and you can just be aware of that. So next is the AQI, so air quality index. It's released by Central Pollution Control Board in consultation with IIT Kanpur. So basically it's a measure based on 8 pollutants. These are important. That is your you can just remember PM. Two types of PM are there: particular matter 10 and particular matter 2.5. Nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide. These are like rhyming. PM10, PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and then you have carbon monoxide, lead, ammonia, and ozone. Okay. So these 8. So recently, why this was in news, because red light on, Gadi off. So there's a campaign going on in our NCR region by the Delhi government to curb pollution, because recently the pollution level went on very poor. So there are 6 basically categories based on which the CPCB measures the pollution in that region. So very poor means you can see it's a 300 to 400 range. The initial two are 50-50 difference, so good and satisfactory, and rest up to 500 is 100 difference. So you can remember it as a GS, MP, and very poor. GS, General Secretary of MP, you can remember moderate and poor. The to just remember the order how it comes. Then VS, just remember it severe. Okay, so this is the thing, and in the similar lines, we had this even odd scheme to curb pollution, so it can also help you in your mains answer writing. Next is the medical termination. Recently, one of the High Court allowed permission for one of the women to abort even after 24 weeks. We knew that. We had this recent amendment to the medical termination amendment bill 2020. So many changes were made. So I thought we'll quickly see that differences, what changes were made. So there was a study carried out in the year 2015. According to that, it says that 10 to 13% of the maternal deaths occur due to the unsafe abortions, and uh, it's the third highest cause for maternal deaths in India. In India, it's also estimated that 15.6 abortions were performed in 2015, and abortion rate is about 47 per thousand within the human age group of 15 to 49. These are like means import related. So the differences between the MTP Act 1971 and 2020 is, so previously, if they had to abort a 12-week pregnancy, advice of one doctor was required. Here also, it holds good. The same one doctor. For 12 to 20, two doctors were required, and now under this amendment, one doctor. And 20 to 24 weeks abortion, it was not allowed previously, but now it is allowed. Under what condition? Two doctors are required. And for the same categories of pregnant women, such as rape or incest victims, differently abled women, and minors. So these are the conditions under which the abortions can be carried out. And next is more than 24 weeks anytime during the pregnancy. So this was not allowed previously, and now it requires permission from the medical boards, considering that there is some abnormality in the fetus, and it might lead to the death of that woman. So here, one doctor, if immediately necessary, to save pregnant women's life. So here also one doctor is required, and that's what. If there is a complications with the pregnancy, then with the decision of the medical board will be considered. Doctor refers to the registered medical practitioner with experience or training in gynecology. Or gynecology, we know that. Okay. Uh, then termination due to failure of contraceptive method or device. Under the Act of Pregnancy, may be terminated up to 20 weeks by a married woman in the case of failure of contraceptive method. They had these pills, and even then the pregnancy did not get terminated. In that case as well, they can go for termination of the pregnancy. Then it allows also unmarried women to terminate pregnancy for the same reason. So both married as well as unmarried women. Medical boards, all state and UT governments will have to constitute a medical board. So under this amendment, the board will decide if the pregnancy may be terminated after 24 weeks. This is because a medical board comes into picture, right, for the 24-week period due to uh, abnormalities in the fetus. Each board will have, so what will this medical board consist of? It will have a gynecologist, pediatrician, radiologist, and other members notified by the state government. Privacy. A registered medical practitioner may only reveal the details of the woman whose pregnancy has been terminated to a person authorized by law, not for everyone. You cannot just go on and reveal her privacy. Violation is punishable with imprisonment up to a year and fine or both. Then Zero Survey was in news, so we saw how Survey had helped us see how many people, or how what extent of the population was affected by the COVID, and also to see if they have developed antibodies for the same. So the blood serum, so of a group of individuals is examined for antibodies. So basically serum, it's part of your blood plasma, and it is taken out, and it will see if the antibodies are developed. If it is developed, we can make sure that okay, this person was infected, and now antibodies are there. And yeah, that way we'll get to know like how many people got affected, and how many people are resistant now, and all that. So that's part of your zero survey. Everybody cannot be tested, only few people chosen at a random level are tested. The results are estimate of the proportion of the people who have been infected in the past. So that's your zero survey. Then is your PLI scheme. So we saw that as part of your Atmanirbhar package itself, I guess the PLI scheme was launched for 13 sectors currently. So it's basically your incremental sales. So based on your incremental scales, you'll be given some kind of additional money in different sectors. 13 sectors are included. So recently, this can add up to your mains answer writing. Chrysler, it's a rating agency. What it has told is estimating that industrial investment will rise 30% over a period of this period. Chrysler said that the PLI scheme had given a much needed booster to failing capital expenditure. So it's like a praising of the government, and that when external agency is doing this, so it can help you as a pointer in your anything which comes up as part of the economy. You can just quote this agency what it had predicted. Okay, then one liner tea exports have fallen from the past 7 months in 2021. So then also as part of your digital India or the digital financial inclusion, this thing you can mention in your mains answer writing. What Paytm has done is it has set aside 100 crore for marketing campaigns during the festive season to promote UPI, buy now, pay later, and wallet business schemes. So this something look different for me. Buy now, pay later. So it's all different means of promoting your digital India. So even this payment banks are playing an important role in that. So this particular, because of this I added this point. Then yesterday I told you that this hypersonic light missile was being tested by China, but now China's has clarified it has not tested. It was just a normal space activity what they were doing. Hypersonic missile, if I say hypersonic, anything which has a speed of 5 Mach, that is your 5 times the speed of your sound, is hypersonic. Okay. Then UN asks Bangladesh to stop attack on minority Hindus. So we are seeing that how our Hindu minorities are being attacked, and also during the Durga Puja the pandals were destroyed there. So the UN has intervened, and they have told that it's Bangladesh government to intervene in this. Then Thandin Youth Festival, Myanmar. So we have seen these pictures many times in Instagram, and so this is your lighting lanterns and leaving it in the air. So this one festival, and this is one of the newer that is called your Thingyan festival. Okay, they play with water here. So since these are Buddhist festivals, it becomes important. It's and Myanmar is also in news because of the coup, the Janta government. So it becomes important that we know about Thingyan and the Thandi Youth Festival, the Lantern and Water New Year Festival. So that's about it. Just know about these things. So then is your Interim Bill. The Yuvika and Yuvraj Singh recently got arrested on making this casteist comments on SCs, STs, and we know that there is a law, Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act, under which it's an offense to make such kind of comments. And based these people recently got interim bail. So it's important for us to know what interim bail is. There are different types of bails: regular bail, interim bail, and anticipatory bail. So, but what is a bail? Bail is a conditional or provisional release of a person under a legal custody in matters which are yet to be pronounced by the court, by undertaking a promise to appear in the court as and when required. It signifies a security or collateral deposited before the court release. So, what happens in an interim bail is anticipatory bail. Let's say anticipatory bail is like, so you get to know that you will get arrested. So even before arrest you will apply for this bail. So the person is not arrested here. So even before arrest only you will get the bail. Interim bail is like, in order to seek this anticipatory bail you will take a short notice bail, so that until you get this anticipatory bail you are out freely moving. Regular bail, it is a direction given by the court to release a person who is already under arrest. So here he is already under arrest, but anticipatory bail, he never gets arrested before, because he gets the bail even before that, and kept in police custody for such bail. So for such a bail a person can file application. These sections are not important, but you need to know that this comes under CRPC, your criminal procedure code. Interim bail, let me read it out. Bail granted for a temporary and short period by the court till the application seeking anticipatory bail or regular bail is pending. Not just the anticipatory bail, it could also be a regular bail is pending before a court. Anticipatory bail is a direction issued to release a person on bail even before a person is arrested. Okay, important statement. In this situation, there is a apprehension of arrest and the person is not arrested before the bail is granted. For such a bail, a person can file an application under CRPC, section not important. It is issued only by the session courts or high court. This is very important. They can give you Supreme Court or any other district courts or anything. So your bail for this anticipatory, it's just given by your session court and high court. Very, very important statement. Next, Kushinagar Airport. We know that we have yet to inaugurate this Kushinagar Airport. This is where the Mahaparinirvana Buddha took his last breath. That's called your Mahaparinirvana. So an international airport is also being constructed there, and also there is a plan for this Buddhist circuits. Like from there, you will be able to travel to the different Buddhist sites like your Gaya or and Vaishali or Lumbini, anywhere, like even not just in India, outside India as well. And here Sri Lanka is been invited, and that's giving us two mural paintings. One is the Arhat Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunis. The Bhikkhu is the male person and Bhikkhunis are the female female parties in the Sabha, or sorry, not in the Sabha, in the Sangha of Buddhism. And so, two paintings. One is the Arhat Bhikkhu Mahinda, son of Emperor Ashoka, delivering the message of Buddha to the king, Devanam Piyasta of Sri Lanka. And then, second mural painting is Theri Bhikkhuni Sangamitra, the daughter of the emperor in Sri Lanka, bearing a sapling. So, it was Sangamitra who, these two were the children of King Ashoka of the Mauryan Empire, bearing a sapling of sacred Bodhi tree. So this was done by Sanghmitra, under which Siddhartha Gautama is believed to have obtained enlightenment. So that we know. And one more thing is, one temple is there in Colombo. It's a Buddhist temple, so it becomes important. We know. So we know about chaityas and viharas, right? Chaityas are places of worship. Viharas where the bhikkhunis and the bhikkhus used to rest. So Kelaniya Rajamaha Vihara, a popular Buddhist temple near Colombo. So these Sri Lankan people are invited for this inaugural function. So that is important. So this is your culture diplomacy. You can write down as part of your main answer as well. Next is the part-time employees are not entitled to regularization. So it cannot be considered as a 1 year you do job and next year continuation of that cannot be considered as a right. So that is what they are saying. Part-time employees not entitled to regularization. SC has told that. Then judiciary should not act as a super legislature, says center. So who is the super legislature? So it's Supreme Court, but it has some constraints to be called so. So let's read this out. The Supreme Court operates as a super legislature, though one of the limited jurisdiction. Though it has one of the limited jurisdiction, it only gets to pass on questions. So it cannot legislate. It can just question whatever is being brought up. And on a blank slate, there are constraints, maybe a couple of possible outcomes that are available to be chosen and defended. So if it speaks about who forms the super legislature, is it the Supreme Court, High Court, or it can give you CVC, CAG. So super legislature is your Supreme Court, okay? But it's not an absolute or exclusive legislature because it's coming with constraints. Then your Kurukutharai Murugan temple, it was also in news because this got flooded, and this temple got flooded with the waters of Tambirabharni river. So these temple as well as Tambirabharni river becomes important as a cultural part of the prelims. Tambirabharni, the river, it's called because the copper traces were found in this river. It has a historical pact to it. And it is found in Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu. Its old name is Porunai. So UPSC always is fascinated by these kind of names, right? So Porunai, this is one and same old name, and it originates in Potugai Hills, and copper was found, as I told. It's a perennial river. Fishing is and all is being done as part of there. So the other tributaries of this river are Karayar, Maniyamuthar, Peyar, Sarvalar River, Gadanathi River, Ullar, Pachayar River, Pambar, and Ramanathi River. So just read it 2 3 times. You will just get familiar. Okay, these kind of names come somewhere in Tamil Nadu and as part of the tributaries of Tambirabharni. Then this particular image was posted in a newspaper. This is your ibis and this is your pelican. In the prelims this year they had this pelican also, right? So both are NT as per nearly threatened as per your IUCN. Okay. Then is Gadgil committee was in news, Western Ghats. So because the complete Kerala region is flooded, right? So Gadgil report is related to Western Ghats. Then there was Gopala app in your editorial section where sorry. So eGopala app, it deals with real-time information of livestock to livestock, farmers on the availability of diseases, free germplasm in relevant centers, veterinary. So all these details you can get it in the eGopala app. There Earth Shot Prize. So these are called Eco Oscars. So it's not an agency UN related award. No, it's given by the Prince William and the Royal Foundation. It's basically a cash prize, and it looks into a contribution in the SDG goals and also environment related prize you can consider. Earth Shot. We have this Earth Hour also, right? Just like that, Earth Shot also you can remember. Allium nigainum. That's a plant. It belongs to the onion genus and it is found in Uttarakhand. And yeah, so if they can ask you Allium nigaya, what is this? Nigayanum. Okay, so this is it for today. And if you like this video, just give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys.